Hello everybody, we have a brand new technology that I want to show you. Currently we're calling it Social Inviter, but we're probably going to change the name here. And I want to show you what it does. Now, what most people don't know is that there is another way to do invites into LinkedIn, what I and others call a backdoor. And that is in part of LinkedIn where you can do an email upload. Now, it used to be that you could upload thousands of emails into your LinkedIn account and they were okay with it. Now, today in this world, it's a little bit different. You have to do it differently. You still can do it, and you can do a lot of emails, but you have to do it in a very specific and coordinated fashion. So what I've done is I've developed a system that does this and also combines email and some other things, and I want to show it to you. Social Inviter 1.38. We've already got about a dozen people right now that have beta tested it and or are using it, and they're having a lot of fun with it. So what this does is it enables you to load a list. You can load a list from this little facility here into the inviter, and you would set it normally to emails only. Some of our other systems have the ability to do profiles, sets of profiles, and we'll get into that in the future, but right now I'm just going to do a quick overview of the system. So you can set it to do emails only or upload the entire file. So let's say that you've got 500 emails that you want to load into LinkedIn. So normally you would do this, but you would do it, in 125 to 150 a day, and that's about the kind of file size that you want to work with when you're doing this. Now, this doesn't verify that they're good emails like our social verifier does, but it does upload them like our social verifier does. So basically you just load these. Now come out into email here. There's a few of them that I've done. And keep in mind that I've loaded thousands of emails into my account, and other people have as well. So there's no problem with doing this with LinkedIn. You're not going to cause any account restriction. Actually, it's quite the opposite. All you do really is just hit this little go button after you load the file, and that's it. That's all you do. And you can just load in 150 or however many you're going to upload, and just hit that button, and we'll upload those email addresses into your account. Now when it does that, LinkedIn invites them. LinkedIn believes that you know that person because you've got their email address, and LinkedIn invites them just as they would anybody else. And the cool thing is that it bypasses the normal invite system in LinkedIn, so you never get any I don't knows. What some people have experienced is that if you do a lot of invites, even if you've got Sales Navigator, if you're doing hundreds of invites all the time, eventually LinkedIn can stop you from people saying I don't know this person over and over. Sounds crazy, but it's true, because according to LinkedIn, you're supposed to know that person before you invite them, which nobody really pays attention to, but theoretically that's the way it's supposed to be. So you bypass that normal system by doing this, and this creates a whole new way to develop a list on LinkedIn, and it's pretty slick. So what this software does is it invites them and loads them in one by one, and you can watch it occur as it goes in. I'm not going to get into that really right now, but you can watch it happen, and it will load in one by one. Just looks like a VA is slaving away. It will randomly put them in and pause and do all of the things that a VA would do. And I recommend 125 to 150 a day max. And anyway, this is a new way to take email addresses. Perhaps you've got some old email address list around, or perhaps you have purchased some lists, or maybe you want to upload those genealogy lists that you had from 2 years ago. Anyway, LinkedIn will attempt to invite that person and build your list, so your LinkedIn connections with it. Now, we've taken this a couple steps further, of course. So here's what we call hyperconnector. Now, in this hyperconnector system, we're providing a couple of lists of what are typically called superconnectors. These are LinkedIn open networkers that have large networks themselves. So if you're building a new account and you want to do it quickly, all you got to do is just upload. And again, see, 150 a day. So you just upload these. So I've got the superconnectors list here. If I was starting to build an account, I would just select this and click this download button to do the 150, and then click invite. You don't have to wait. You just click, 2 seconds later, click. And it'll log into LinkedIn, upload however many you have this set for. Again, 125, 150, something like that. Now, this gets more and more interesting, because let's say that you have a list of a target market, like, dentists or something like that. Well, you can upload that and connect with that. And you begin to, as you do this, you begin to understand that there's really no reason to purchase Sales Navigator, because you don't need to go through all of those searches and take all of that time if you have that email list. So, full disclosure here, we're going to be selling lists of different types of LinkedIn connections. We have lists of dentists, we have lists of realtors right now, we have CEOs, we have several others. If you're interested in that, you can check with me. But we're going to be able to provide lists of thousands of people in your different niche markets, and some other cool ones too, like affiliate marketers, for instance. And you'll be able to basically load these lists in and explode your network in a far shorter time, and using a free or low-paid account, and not have to go through all of that time and spend all of that money that you normally would on Sales Navigator. So this is part of what this is about. Now, let's say you've done that and people have connected. Well, what then? Well, here is an SMTP you can set up too, and this looks a little bit busy, but this is pretty cool. You can email those lists that you have. Now, I don't suggest you email the superconnectors list, but you can email lists that you have obtained or that you have into this system, or you can just load your connections. So right here, if you export your connections from LinkedIn, let's say you've got 3,000 of them, doesn't matter how many, you can just use the same facility like you did back in the LinkedIn Inviter, and you can load your connections file in here, and then you can use your Gmail SMTP, and we'll set up for other SMTPs. You can use other SMTPs, not just Gmail, okay? But we'll actually set up some other APIs that you can use as well, so that you can send more than 100 or 200 a day. And this way, you can send email directly to your connections. And here's where you set up your message, your subject line, and then you can select which SMTP to use and which message to use, and then you just hit send. Now, we've got several additions to make on here. This is generally speaking, this is a work in progress. this software right now. But this is what we're going to be putting out in 2018. Amongst other things, we have a few different really cool technologies coming out, and this is one of them. And we have over here, we have an auto response system so that you can set up several messages, and then as you hit the button, it will go to the next message. So you can actually change from message to message to message those same people, and you can drip messages on them. Now we're gonna put several more things into this, but I want you to understand that this is going to be something that we're going to have a free version and a low-cost version, both, of this technology. So this is going to be something that is much more accessible, and it's actually really simple. Now think about this for a minute, okay? If you have email lists, whether you purchase them from us, or whether you have them or you buy them from somebody else, you trade them, or you develop them, or you get them from our client builder, okay, which you can do that as well, you can load them in here, upload them into your LinkedIn account, and invite, never have to go through all of that search process mess and all of the other stuff, and then export your contacts, bring them into here, and email them directly. And the response rate is excellent, by the way. You won't have to worry about that. And this is all perfectly kosher. There's nothing wrong with emailing your LinkedIn contacts because they've already opted in. You're not doing anything unethical or illegal. You're using your own Gmail SMTP. Gmail is okay with this. You do not have to be concerned about that. And it's simple. Very simple. So think about this for a minute. You've got lists of emails, rather than, go through that emailing process and, going through the opt-in forms and all of the other stuff, you just upload them right into LinkedIn and you're done. People connect, you export them, and you email them because then they've opted in. The opt-in rate for LinkedIn is far, far superior to emailing cold email and then asking them to opt in. So this is a simple, easy, free and or low-cost system. And remember that if you don't have any email addresses, okay, and you don't need to put in any LinkedIn Open Networkers to build your network because you've already got one, that you can get all of the types of data that you would need more than likely from our client builder technology. So this becomes a very good, something that's very compatible with that. Anyway, this is the overview of the Social Inviter 1.38. We are building this out right now. It's already being used. It's functional, and people are having fun with it. But most importantly, it is simple, and it's the closest thing I've seen ever invented to be able to just hit a button and develop your own opt-in network. It does not get any simpler. You have an email list, you load it in, you hit the button. This is a cool little feature down here too. I'll mention this really quick. Some of us, actually many of us, we have invites that have been in our LinkedIn account maybe for years, and there may be hundreds of them in there that people never connected. Now it takes hours after you find out where to go in and clean them out. It takes hours sometimes to do that. With this button right here and this withdraw the invites, all you do is you hit that and it will log into your LinkedIn account and it will clean all of your old invites out that are older than 2 weeks. Really cool. I watched it work with mine and I went, wow. In just 6 or 7 minutes, it cleaned my LinkedIn account out. So, I got to tell you, just that alone I've had a bunch of people ask me to develop something like that. Just that alone is worth having the software. But anyway, this is Social Inviter 1.38. Yes, we may be relabeling it, but this is some really new, cool, fun, simple technology that we're all going to really get into in 2018. Anyway, thank you for watching. We're really proud of it, obviously. And, if you want a copy, just give me a call.